Good morning, St. Philip the Apostle family. Happy New Year. And, I still want to say Merry Christmas because when we left, Christmas hadn't really happened yet. Jesus hadn't been born. And since then, Jesus is born, and we are thrilled to welcome him into our hearts, into our lives, into our homes, and of course, into our school. I'd also like to say Happy New Year to all of you and to all of your families. What a great way to start the week, right? We have a newborn Savior, a new year, and a fresh new start after a much needed 2-week break. I hope you all got the chance to relax and recharge and also have a little bit of socially distanced fun too. Today, I'm going to say a few words about trust. It's something we all need in our lives. We need trust in order to just get through each day. We need to have someone in whom we can place our trust, and we also need to know that we can trust certain things will be available to us in order for us to survive in the very least, and for us to be successful at the very best. Some of these things are very basic, like food to eat and clothes to wear and a place to sleep and keep warm. These are the basic things that we need to stay alive. And I hope you realize how fortunate you are to have these things, because there are many who do not. They can't trust that they will have food to eat today. And they also can't trust that they'll have a bed to sleep in tonight. But you can. And that alone makes you very blessed. But there are other ways that trust can truly change our lives. This has to do with where we place our trust and in whom we place our trust. These past weeks, we've been hearing a lot about the story of how God came to us through the Holy Mother, Mary, and Jesus was born into the world. This all happened in part because Mary trusted God and she believed in his word and the word of his servant. She was so strong in her faith that she never once lost trust in God, and she knew that he would take care of her no matter what. Sure, of course, she had her questions. I mean, Mary was human after all, so, she had questions. But she put all of her trust in God, and she listened to his messenger, and she said to him, "Behold, the servant of the Lord. Let it be done to me according to your word." That is trust. Think about that for a minute. That moment changed Mary's entire life for eternity, for all time, just because she trusted in God. This wasn't seen as any great thing, by her family and friends. She was not popular at all. And nobody was happy that Mary was having a baby before she was married. Back then, in those days, that was something for which women were really seriously punished, and some even killed. So you see, Mary was really trusting in God and trusting that he would protect her, because that's what she was taught, and that's what she truly believed. And we're so glad she did, because through her, God gave us his only son. Jesus was born into the world to save us. Trusting in God so fully can make life much easier for all of us, but it doesn't mean that bad things won't happen. It means our hearts and minds are at peace because we know that God is with us even when bad things do happen. It means we know and trust that we can do all things through Christ because he's God. and He is the one who strengthens us. It means answering the call to Christian service when you hear it because you trust in God and you trust that He's the one that is calling you to do His good works. It's having the confidence to do what's expected of us in our daily lives because we know that we will be successful if we do them. Yep, things like your daily chores, your prayer, practicing gratitude, and doing acts of service, and even just being kind. And it also means trusting in ourselves to be the very best we can be at the things we have to do. Those things, you know, I'm talking about your schoolwork because I'm always going to talk about your schoolwork. Your chores are, of course, are a part of that as well. We may not want to do these things, but we know we have to, and we have to trust in ourselves and in our abilities to give our very best effort to these things. And when we do so, we can trust that the outcome will be positive and we will do well. This isn't easy. It's not an easy thing to do because we all doubt ourselves at one time or another. I know I do. And we forget that there are people in our lives that can help us. And we also forget that God is with us too. But trust me. Trust me. You'll find that if you trust in yourself and trust in God, you'll see that you've always had the ability to do well. And there really wasn't any reason to doubt yourself in the first place. Many of us have been directly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, and we know that it can take away people that we love. We've lost family members and loved ones, and we miss them. But we have to trust that God is with us and that He will help us through these difficult times. And we have to be smart too, and we have to help Him help us by being careful and remembering to look out for one another. Mary never wavered in her trust and faith in God. Can you be like Mary? And can you trust in Him too? It takes courage, and you have to remind yourself a lot. But you can do it if you set your mind and heart to it. Remember, you can do all things through Christ because He is God and He is the one who strengthens you. And that is what's essential. That's what's important. Remembering where your strength comes from. And when you do that, you'll always remember to seek God in all things. Have a great week, St. Philip family, and may God continue to bless you and keep you safe.